just we're in for a treat here. Welcome, everybody. Talk Your Soul. Summertime 2025. The random episode 4.2. We're just gonna talk it up today, guys. It's been a while. I miss my guy. I mean, like, we're just gonna catch up. And it's like halftime of the year, like the calendar year is almost like halfway here. So we're gonna just talk about what's on our mind, as we typically do, but with less form. So yeah, welcome, brother, from Vegas. You know what I mean? Talk your stuff, talk your soul.
I feel like that's par for the course. But yeah, I got a little rant I want to start off with. So I had to delay paying my taxes because I knew I was getting that 1095 form from this health plan shit. And I was waiting for it. I didn't realize that they never if I don't think they mailed out a physical copy, but when I went to the website today, it was there in the inbox. So I amended my tax return. Why do I owe more now? Yo, it went from me owing like $50 to now I owe $300. Like, what kind of bullshit is that?
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Uh, I don't like that shit. Like, that's healthcare you're talking about. Like, and yeah, for it to go up like that, I don't like that at all, man. Like, yeah, you might want to write your congressman.
It's crazy, man. I don't know what it
Hold on, I
is.
gotta turn you up. I gotta turn you up. Since that's not making a difference with the gremlins.
Yeah, I don't know what. Damn.
That's definitely what it is. It's this mic getting feedback.
Is there another mic you could use? Something that doesn't have its own settings?
I can put it all the way over there and just hope that it doesn't.
Well, I mean, it sounds fine.
Yeah.
Wherever you put it. All right, let's roll with it like that then.
I'm just gonna keep putting it further and further away from my face, as all mics should be. No. I digress.
Yeah, so yeah, man, like that's crazy. It's like you can't win for losing with healthcare in this country.
I'm,
Man.
speaking of the halfway point of the year, I'm reevaluating being a contractor. I'm a contractor. I'm an entrepreneur by heart and by definition. Ever since the last time I got fired. And like what I'm realizing is being outside with no health care, no sick days, no vacation days, it's adding up a little bit. Like, I'm not 25 anymore where I could just expect life to just go well. And you know what I mean? Like, life is going to have the ups and downs. You're going to need some days off. So I say all that to say, guys, I'm looking for a job. You know what I mean? I'm looking for a job, I'm thinking about getting a job again, and giving up this freelance.
Getting back in the cog.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I can dig it.
Even though I feel like freelance is the wave. Like, I feel like, speaking of the next generation, like, I think a lot of freelancing is going to be going on. But wins and losses. Check your 1099s carefully. And pay quarterly taxes. And pay your taxes? Or just get extensions. This is all wisdom. I've been audited twice. Yeah, don't just ignore shit. Let's not do that anymore. Like, yeah, let's not do that. Is anything bothering you today, bro? Like I have. You
No,
say you have questions. You have
I do,
questions.
but it's odd shit that I've come across. For example,
Okay.
they were cleaning out the garage, the little storage garage at work, and they pulled out two things I have not seen in years. One was a Rolodex, and the other was a hole puncher.
Oh,
Exactly. That's my point. And so I wanted to ask you, like, because like in your line of work, I imagine you still deal with paperwork. Do you use a hole puncher in your line of work? Like just office equipment in general, like all those things that you used to have in like the 80s and 90s office setting, like are they even necessary anymore?
things are coming to an end. It's getting more annoying, bro.
I'm telling you, man, you might need to change your mic to
Hold
something.
on. Let me just. I'm gonna go anarchy right here.
Okay, you just muted your mic. I don't know what you're trying to do here. Yeah, sorry, folks. You're just getting it raw today. So
Yeah.
it just is what it is.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I don't know. What are you doing?
I just went old school. I just went laptop mic. Like
Okay.
we're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's fine. All right. So yeah. Do you like you were saying about things just
Okay. It's I have a home office. And we had this conversation a little bit before as far as just like, cable not being necessary in the home anymore, and how we had a AI, difference of opinions about how AI as a tool, was basically changing the workspace in a lot of ways, and just opening up unlimited, in my opinion, opportunities. What's happening in the actual like office is like, for example, when kids go to school, there's no more paper. So there's no more folders. So there's no more syllabuses. It's a laptop and a book bag. And in the workplace, my life is a tablet and a laptop. Um, and when I bill Medicare, speaking of our government, I have one Medicare patient, and when I bill them, it's still on paper. Like I still actually write out the note like I did 20 years ago, a pen and paper. I'm making photocopies. I'm filling out a billing slip. I'm still faxing my paperwork to my biller who bills Medicare, but that's essentially just me taking pictures of the pages and using a faxing app to send them, anytime I need to fax something, I use so sometimes I still need a printer. Like my daughter gave me her printer because she doesn't use it anymore, but I still use it just to make photocopies of paper, just in case I need to do, white collar crime from time to time. I still keep a copy machine around for shit like that. And, like it's good for, just to have your office. But yeah, to your point, hole puncher, I still have a 3-hole puncher in there, but I don't know when I'm ever going to use it again. Yeah. And yeah, things are changing, right? It's back.
yeah. But you're right, things are changing. I mean, even in my workspace, like the only paperwork that I see them use are the form that the customers have to fill out if they want to use their medical. And then
Mm.
like, they're like like logs and forms that they use when they like clean the bathrooms and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
you know, I imagine they use the hole puncher because they keep this stuff in a binder, but the other stuff is, just basically on the clipboard.
Yeah, in the era where we're storing more and more stuff on the cloud, this is something that people like my mom need to wake up to. That, like, if you want to, like, even if you want to be a collector of sorts, and you want to keep things like pay stubs from banks that don't even exist anymore, and to houses that you don't know anymore. But like, if you want to keep all this stuff in your home because it makes you feel warm and fuzzy for some reason, you can take pictures of it and like have it for eternity, like on a device in the cloud. You know what I mean? And it doesn't need to like take up your living space. So like, yeah, like it even hoarding can become virtual. like we can just keep it all in the cloud now and keep our closets clean. You know what I mean? Like, like this, there's so much levels to this organization now that, like, yeah, like my boss the other day was like, she's like so far advanced with the AI and the speech technology and doing her notes. Like, I'm still cutting and pasting, I'm still like, yeah, she's like, you need to get on with this, so yeah, it's coming. It's coming. And yeah, as I enter the job market again, I know there's another wave of brand new technology waiting for me, whatever, because y'all, I need benefits. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm gonna get like a good job, like with good benefits. So like, yeah, like I'm gonna need like, yeah, they're gonna have to train me well
Yeah,
on a new device.
you definitely don't want to have to go to the healthcare portal and get benefits because apparently that shit raises your taxes. So
Yeah, and health is wealth. You know what I mean? So we got to stay on it. But yeah, health has an expense. Speaking of unhealthy, real quick, and then I'll throw it back to you. I was hurrying up here to, haircut, hurrying up to get here, hit Taco Bell real quick. And I'd like to rant briefly, about something we've touched on, but it needs some clarity and some light shown upon it.
Okay.
You knew me when we used to get a ride to the town McDonald's, from in Princess Anne to treat ourselves to some fast food. Like, and two double quarter pounders, two double quarter pounders, two double quarter pounders. Two double quarter pounders is what I would typically get. Stop, bro. Like, we gotta anyway. And there's two things I need to bring up. The size is it's at a level of a class action lawsuit now. Like what they're doing to these buns and shrinking these sandwiches across the board. This is not ice cream anymore. This is fraud. This is fraud. You know what I mean? And we had a fast food conversation before, with this food becoming faker and faker. You could smell Popeyes in the air, smells good. You see it on your plate, you put it in your mouth, all that's good. But we have to talk about these aftertastes. Like there's an aftertaste, like
mad, son.
Like, hierarchy, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm thinking like Burger King might have like the best aftertaste.
Well, the flame broiled, my dude. Flame broiled. Where burger should be made.
Oh,
I mean, think about it. That flame broiled is the grill. when you
Yeah.
grilling burgers. Like that's the closest you're gonna get to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like oh, and we're just gonna keep it random, because this is me and you, and this is how we talk anyway. And I know we're supposed to be talking to the listeners, guys. And thank you guys, by the way, for
reminds me. Yeah, let me put up this banner.
yeah, thank you guys for checking in on TikTok, on YouTube, Spotify, bro. Like my man, we're on video on Spotify now. Like there's so many ways to get with us now, and like so we appreciate you guys just like tapping in. Real quick update on Scooby-Doo. I have been watching Scooby-Doo on Max. Velma does have a thing for Shaggy. That's in the limbo. I'll get back to that. But what I wanted to throw at you real quick, my brother, is the latest version of Wax On, Wax Off. Do you know that there's another Karate Kid out? Like
I told you. And then when because at the time I was making fun of the situation because of Daniel LaRusso, but yeah, the newest one is Jackie Chan and him. I mean, I put it to you like this, because I watch some like behind the scenes things and stuff about it, because on the low, like I said, because I told you that I felt like the Jackie Chan arc of it was the better story, and obviously it was, because like this is where we are now, and they pulled Daniel LaRusso in, just for, I guess, the connection to Mr. Miyagi. But I'll say this: that young boy that they got, oh, that motherfucker for real. He looked like he really whipped your ass.
That's that shit.
But yeah. So I got something else I want to talk about too. So something I've been thinking about for like a week now. And just going on like rap videos, because that's the only like visual thing I could think of to represent what I'm talking about. When you see the way women carry themselves in the videos and stuff like that, I found myself wondering, is the art of seduction dead? And so I wanted to ask you that. Like, what do you think of that?
It's a heavy topic.
Something told me you would say that too.
I'm thinking about it like globally, how, again, from our generation of, I mean, we weren't too many steps away from like, I heard people used to like look at JC Petty ads for like eye candy or Playboy magazines,
I was one of
like the crisscross bra, like that shit had support, bro.
Yeah. Set them up right nice. Set them up right nicely.
Yo, like, yeah, like, all that attention. But yeah, how, now in a porn saturated world, in a world where influencers in any category of culture, the cute, attractive, sexy influencer has an advantage in that, like, yeah, she's showing her skin as she's doing other stuff,
I mean, but here's my thing.
In the backdrop of that world, I feel like, yeah, it's no wonder that like dick pics and what I mean, like this is what happens in the portal now, or in the DMs is all kinds of savagery Because yeah, seducing, just like, now once you get out of the virtual world and into the real world, I think there's a level of seduction that needs to happen, unless you have claws. And let me tell you, I'm understanding you a lot better. I'm getting more and more through Logan. I got more into it. I'm understanding more of your story. You got the daughter. She only has two claws, two fight forward, two fight backward. I'm understanding all, like, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're mutants. That's why they're trying to shut us down, because that's the Professor Trump right there trying to shut us down with the gremlins.
Those are two words I will never expect to hear together.
That's what you get here on Talk Soul. You get a lot of that here on Talking Soul, and that's a whole other.
But I feel like okay, like touching on what you were saying about, like the whole social media and porn thing. Like, because I've always looked at the art of seduction as it's not really a game that can be taught. Like, you just kind of gotta have it. And I will say that I notice that there are some of the young ladies out there that seem to understand that fact, but it's a very small piece of that pie, because you can kind of see it, like in the way they present themselves.
Well, this is why I feel like it's still in the culture because of the word Riz. Like, when you're rizzing someone up, if you're a Rizzler, if you're like a Riz master, like,
Rizzler? Did you just say Rizzler?
Rizzler, if you're like the ultimate Rizzler, you know what I mean? Like, your bedside manner, your game, you know what I mean? We've referred to this as different things in our culture, but like, it's still a thing. You know what I mean? And it brings me to a valid point of how communication is a skill, and not everyone participates in it or knows how to do it, like other people can. You know what I mean? There's a hierarchy of communication, you know what I mean? That yeah. A little off track there, but yeah.
Okay, so what I'm getting out of that is that it's not dead.
No,
I agree.
It's not. It's not.
That's
You still have to. Yeah, you still have. I was just. I'm not trying to put him on Front Street. I've alluded to this before. I like my barber. I love him. He makes me look amazing. I think we are each other's counselor at times. You know what I mean? It's a two-way street. Sometimes, but he was just sharing with me, a lot. And in that, he shared that he went to the Roots picnic and how it was basically the New Greek picnic, and its net impact of ratio of men to women from other states who are waiting on Ubers. Like, it just lends itself to a lot of open air rizzing. Like real life rizzing to happen. So it's alive. It's alive.
Now, if you want to, you got to talk about the Greek picnic, because that's something from our time, and I'm not sure that a lot of people even know what you're talking about. You know, the young people that we want to reach. That's
So we saw we saw Netflix or someone did a documentary on Freak Nick. You know what I mean? And in that documentary, I discovered that the Greek picnic was 2.0 to the original Freaknik movement that went on in Atlanta. That would then start to have satellite pop off energy in different
franchise.
in different right. This is what happened. This is, and like the Greek picnic was a local rendition of the Freaknik, you know. So and just like with Freaknik, it was sorority and fraternity, black sorority and fraternity driven. There was a step show, there were events, but around these collegiate events in Philadelphia that took place somewhere at some time, us as the mob would just descend on Philadelphia with everyone else who had came from other places to descend on Philadelphia. It would lead to traffic jams. And again, once you're in traffic and you cannot go anywhere, it provides opportunity for exchanging communication with everyone you're in traffic with. You know what I mean? Like, and this became the Greek picnic, and you know.
So is this what Will Smith was alluding to in summertime?
Yes, it would often, you know, at the Plateau, which is Fairmount Park, a part of Fairmount Park, that was one of the classic congregating areas in Philadelphia history.
Yeah, I remember those days. I would come visit. You would take me to Fairmount Park. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the Platte was like the Platte on Greek picnic weekend was, you know, then, you know, insane. And you might find your girlfriend on the back of, you know, some random dude's motorcycle just riding around, and you know, like like it just there's all kinds of stuff that could, like, you know what I mean? But it was fun. It was fun. It was pre social media. It was pre smartphone. And yeah, all you had to do was just get there to experience it. You know what I mean? But then it became like, as you know, violence started to, like, you know, and hood things started to, like, you know, enter into it. You know, it became hoodified and then deified, and you know, then it became broken back down to just like the Greeks getting together in some secret location and doing their Greek thing, and the mob was left to, you know, do mob things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think if we had anything like that in Baltimore, but I mean, we had, like, for us, it was just like,
You took me to Drew Hill Park once.
yeah, I'm saying, but that wasn't necessarily like a scheduled event. That you had the house party joint that would always be in the park, but outside of that, like just going to Drew Hill Park on the weekend was the thing in the summer. That was just what everybody did. And like, you know, me at the age I was when it was popping off, like me and my friends would ride down there on our bikes. But of course you had people riding through on their whips, you know, they cars, and like it was basically just like any other situation like that. But
Parking lot pimping.
yeah, but it was just a part of it. Like I said, it wasn't like sponsored by anything, or you know, like, but I think the closest thing Baltimore might have now is Artscape.
Artscape.
Yeah, it's produced by the city. They've been doing it for a long time. It's like the premier arts showcase kind of thing that happens in Baltimore every year, and every year they have like a long list of artists that come to perform, and it's become a big thing. And it takes up a lot of downtown because like all of the events are spread out throughout a certain radius downtown.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's one of the more, I guess, I don't know. I don't even know how to put that in words, but it's one of the better, I guess, government sponsored events that they do. I'll just put it like that.
During the Black History episode, we talked about the fact that we were eating and how absurd that was. In the 16th century to the 18th century, white people in Europe ate or used mummy powder as medicine. They would put a little ground mummy into things, and they thought it had medicinal values because I guess they were just so impressed that like how we were able to like preserve our people and like everything that was Egypt. Like once they got to the mummies, they were like, man, these people were just like so much cooler than us. like let's ground up their relatives and just
because
spread
nothing
that.
shows respect like eating them. You know what I mean? Nothing shows respect like eating them. Yeah. We appreciate your culture so much as we gnaw on your finger, on your mummified finger.
Mm.
Yeah, that's I'm not even going to touch that because that's just fucked up.
So yeah, let's just recap the episode. We're making fast food. We're making fast food great again.
We doing what?
We're making fast food great again. We're trying to make fast food great again.
How do we do that?
By participating. I'm going to start it, guys. When you see it pop up in your newsfeed saying, have you purchased a sandwich and been disappointed by the sandwich's size at McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Checkers, all fast food outlets? If you've been affected, call Sabir, and Sabir, and we will get you there to the bread. You know what I mean? Like once you start to see the advertisements pop up for like the class action lawsuits from the shrinking of fast food in America, you know what I mean? You'll know where it started. You'll have me to thank. Your old pal.
Or we could just not eat it, and then we could like go to the hood spots and get a real.
You can go to Poppy store. Yeah. Go to Halal Truck.
I got one last thing that I wanted to mention.
Okay.
Going back to the whole halftime reference in football.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon Barkley, you may know, he made the cover of Madden this year, but that's not necessarily why I bring this up. He recreated the backwards hurdle doing the photo shoot.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, wow, this dude is amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool and impressive. But like I saw the Eagles on like and again, shout out to the X Gen Thoughts because we lost the X Gen Thoughts episode. And in that episode, I was very conciliatory towards and congratulatory towards the Eagle fans in that episode. And I was very vulnerable as a Commanders fan. You guys didn't get a chance to see that, so shout out to everything. And I saw the Eagles team doing some team building. They went on a basketball getaway where, they were shooting hoops at some, and Saquon was like, reenacting dunks, like iconic dunks and alley-oops. Him and the Great Whites were doing all kinds of athletic alley-oop maneuvers, and so they're, he is an athlete. He is a generational talent, and he plays for the Eagles.
Them.
Yep.
place for them.
Yeah, for sure, for certain. I'm going to mention something to you, and if you have 14 minutes, uh, we could chop it up, or we could save it for. But I just want to. I'll start at the conclusion, and then I'll offer a discussion if it sounds like something that you might be interested in. Grand Theft Auto isn't just a game. It is a cultural scrapbook, a satire. I can't even say the word. Satirical, a satirical news network, and a virtual playground where players, bro, is it my phone?
That's what you're using your phone?
I mean, is it my phone that's causing the interference?
No. I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I don't know if you unplugged that mic. I'm just saying, like,
I did. That's totally unplugged.
well, all right. Well, try to turn down the laptop volume just a little bit. Turn it down to like 75.
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be any better.
Well,
No.
I mean, I don't know. I can hear you just fine right now. But
GTA, what I mean, it's not just a game; it's a culture. And it's a virtual playground where players explore and explode the contraindications of modern life. Whether you're there for the chaos, the storytelling, or the perfect soundtrack down Vinewood Boulevard, GTA has left a mark on gaming and society forever. Like Grand Theft Auto outside, like a lot of why I have been in contact with you, as much these past couple weeks because I've been outside. I've been like in the real portal. But the other portal is GTA, and it's not just a game. It has a global impact. It has crime as social commentary. It has music and pop culture from different time capsules of our time.
just the way you got to say it like that.
It's a virtual tour of America and beyond. Each GTA game drops players into a hyper stylized version of real world locations. There was Liberty City, there was Vice City, San Andreas. I mean, not only has it defined open world gaming, but it's become a mirror and a funhouse of sorts to modern society, from its criminal underworld narratives to its biting social commentary. And the new version is coming our way, guys. And it's going to be insane.
So, first of all, I'll give you a little round of applause on your dramatic reading.
Shout out to Clucking Bell. Go ahead.
But of course I want to talk about that. I agree. I've never heard it worded quite like that, but I do agree. I guess what I want to talk about while we are on the subject is what makes the game my favorite game. As you know, I'm a techie guy. I'm not going to call myself a tech, but I'm a techie guy. And I've always loved video games, but for different reasons than most. For me, I've always okay, I'll give you an example. So my cousins used to play games like damn it, that's terrible. I cannot think of the name right now. Well, any particular game that had like cutscenes in a story mode, like I would watch them play. I didn't necessarily like to play it myself, but at least I like to watch them play because I like to follow the story. To me, it was
Right.
like watching a movie. And so then comes along Grand Theft Auto, and that is its very premise that it's presenting you a movie, you know, telling a particular story that you get to play. And then, if that wasn't enough, they created an online mode where you get to now create your own character and go do not just the things that you were doing in the story mode for to some degree, like you could do a whole lot more. And like you mentioned in in your monologue, it's an open world experience, and so like you can really just do anything. You don't have to be bound by anything that's presented in the game, and you can still find a way to entertain yourself. And that
Mixed into it. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
so, but that's just part of it.
Mm.
For me, what makes that game so great is it is 1-to-1 in terms of scale to actual life.
Yeah.
And I think like I don't know if a lot of people understand how amazing that is. Like you can literally see a day go by. 24 minutes in this game is 24 hours in the real world. That's the scale. So you can literally see the day go by. Like you can see all, like everything that you see in life. I mean, down to the minute details of it, they've recreated in this game.
Yes.
And
Birds flying, grass swaying, trees.
mosquito, like insects, like especially if you play with a pair of headphones on, like you can
Right.
hear all of those little sounds that you may not catch otherwise. Like when you're standing still and a fly flies by you, like you can hear that shit. You know, on some occasion you might even see it. Um, just the other day I was playing, and where I happened to end up, there were mountain lions. And like I didn't realize, like when I first got there, because I was doing the mission. So when I first got there, I didn't realize mountain lions were my targets. And so like I'm trying to figure out how to find what I'm looking for, and the mountain lions just come out and just fuck me up. Like, yo, oh yo, they mauled me, dog. They mauled me. It was crazy. But I'm just saying, like, that's what makes this game so like great for me. It's like the time to put into to do that, like to recreate that. Even the vehicles, if you pay attention, like the vehicles even drive the way you expect that comparable vehicle in real life to drive. Like they've taken all of those considerations.
Yes.
Oh, you get to enjoy it all. Like I tell people, I mean, people would laugh. I'm pretty sure if I said this, but I feel like to some degree, I've learned how to operate a motorcycle by playing this game. Now, I'm not saying like I have real world experience, but I have a great understanding of the concepts of how to operate a motorcycle. And I feel like
Listen, I was just teaching someone how to drive, and I taught a couple people how to drive, and I'm convinced that this generation has some built-in IQ from their degree of video game driving play, be it Mario Kart, be it GTA, Driver, all the games over the years. Like it translates into, you know, the real world, and we call it outside because it is outside. And one thing that DeepSeek points out is that what makes it so counterculture and revolutionary and fun and real is that they have the fake brands like Sprunk and instead of Sprite, and they have Clucking Bell instead of Taco Bell. They have absurd radio stations from talk shows that mock conspiracy theories to reggae, hip hop, and even Latin love songs. And even the characters walking around, who they refer to as NPCs, they embody regional stereotypes: Valley girls, rednecks, hustlers, tech geeks, bros. Like, it's in the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's in the game. Like, it's in the game, bro. Like, I can't wait for the next GTA. Like, there is going to be a work stoppage when that game drops. To be like a productivity drop worldwide.
You better hurry up and
I'm gonna need some PTO. I'm gonna need some PTO.
We still got to get the file first. I guess I'm not quite ready, but this is the game that always makes me get the next console. Like, there's no other game that I'm willing to get the next console for, except for this.
Yeah.
Except for this one. And so I'm going to try to get that for my birthday, if not sooner, but definitely no later than that. Because I need that.
Damn, I didn't even know there's different versions of it. There's like a Brazil version, an India version, and a Japan version of GTA.
Word?
Yeah, bro.
That's dope.
That's crazy. It's
like playing an anime.
It's got all the corrupt institutions, all your conspiracy theories can come to true in GTA. Like, they're all there. Aliens. Like, right now, the aliens that are trying to interfere with our broadcast, like, all that stuff is real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whatever. This fucking fruit fly has been bothering me. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna kill it. And that'll be that.
But yeah, man. Halftime, summertime, summertime. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to talk about, but it was a pleasure.
Yeah, man. As always, sure for certain. TikTok, the gram. We outside. We outside now. We're going to be Talk Your Soul is going to be in the next version of GTA. There's going to be a podcast station, and it's going to be us. We're going to be in there. Stay tuned.
Yo, I swear to God, if that ever happened, yeah,
we're going to be able to listen to ourselves at GTA. We're listening to our own podcast in our cars in GTA driving around. It's in the game.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we are out. Peace. This light is killing me.